Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Seth or Slick here, back with another Apex Legends video. I hope you guys are all having an amazing day. Today we're going to be going over the top 10 Apex Legends character concepts, which is a part 2 to the previous video I posted a few weeks ago called Top 5 Apex Legends Character Concepts. I got a lot of really good feedback from you guys, so I did want to make a follow-up to that video because there are a lot more cool and creative character concepts that I've seen on Reddit. I do want to state that this is purely my opinion. The ranking of these concepts is just my opinion on whether I like the character or I don't really think that it would be that great in Apex. I also do want to state that all of these original character concepts are linked down below. Make sure to check them out and give them some love if you guys do like these character concepts. So let's get right into it. So let's just go ahead and start off with number 10. This character is called Gearshift and its passive is called Tune Up. Weapons you pick up start with a specific level 1 mod appropriate for each weapon. This mod is unique and can be replaced but can't be dropped. I do think that's a pretty cool passive. I would really like that, honestly. If I got like a Peacekeeper and the first attachment was a precision choke, that'd be really nice. The tactical is called Tripwire. It's a lot like Watson's tactical that we have seen in the files, but basically you can deploy a temporary tripwire that damages enemies who run through it. It can be deployed farther away for a longer tripwire up to a specific maximum limit and can be used as cover, but it is destructible. Now, I do think that's pretty much exactly like what Watson's tactical ability is going to be, so I do really like that. And then the ultimate is called Concussion Burst. You throw a grenade that after 4 seconds sends out a large pulse that pushes targets away, and targets in the air are pushed farther. Enemies that collide with the terrain take slight damage, and the ultimate can be cooked and used personally as a grenade jump, which I think is a pretty cool addition. Let's get on to number 9. This character is called Echo. The passive is called Light Feet. Basically, you would emit no footstep sounds when walking, and the active is called Quiet Place, where it suppresses any sounds around him for 10 seconds, as well as the ultimate is called Echo Location, and it reveals enemies in a large radius but exposes your position. Now, this is slightly like Bloodhound because of his ultimate, but I do think this is pretty unique, as in it's more of a stealth character, which we don't really have too much of in Apex, so I do think it'd be cool to have a silent assassin like this guy. Now let's get on to number 7. This concept art is pretty much just from Titanfall 2, guys. I saw a Reddit post that a lot of people really wanted to see or would like to see a character called Ash from Titanfall 2 in Apex Legends. Now this concept doesn't have all of her abilities, but I wanted you guys to comment down below if you guys played Titanfall 2. Make sure to let me know what you guys think Ash's ability should be. Now let's get on to number 6, which is Alpine. It's an icy sharpshooter. So Alpine's passive, called Accelerated Ascent, allows her to climb higher with an extended distance as well as a faster climb speed, and you can hang in place at a certain point when you are climbing, but you can't shoot behind yourself, but you can look behind yourself. Then the tactical is called Drop Camo. It activates a prone ability where you lay down on the ground and you are cloaked temporarily, but your first shot will be silent when you do shoot out of that cloak, but it deactivates your cloak, as well as standing up also deactivates your cloak, which I think is a pretty big change to Apex if this were to be added, because prone isn't a thing in Apex. I do think this would be pretty interesting. Make sure to let me know what you guys think. And then the ultimate is called Oral Dampener, and you fire a long-range dart that deafens anyone in the temporary area affected. This affects both friends and foes. Only Alpine and those within the AoE can see where the area ends. Now let's get on to number 5 of the concepts. So this one is actually called Chonk. I think he looks pretty goofy, but I do think his abilities are pretty unique, and I wanted to put this in this video because I really thought this was a cool idea. His passive is called Scrapper's Eye, and he always finds extra ammo for your equipped weapon when looting a death box, which I think is amazing. I have had so many times when early game I just don't have the right ammo and I can't even fight anybody, but I do get 1 kill. So if I were to have this passive, finding that ammo can really allow you to get a lot more kills. His tactical is called Breakdown. He can break down any unwanted attachment, weapon, or equipment into scrap, and then he could use his ultimate called Tinker to consume the scrap to raise the rarity of a currently equipped piece of gear or attachment, which I think is absolutely amazing. But I do think there would have to be a certain limit, a pretty big limit, where you do have to use your tactical a lot before you can actually use your ultimate to get a legendary weapon weapon or something like that. And then we have number 4, which is called Gopnik. He's a tracker. His passive is called Hard Bass. While Gopnik uses one of his abilities, Hard Bass music starts to play in nearby enemy headphones, making it impossible to hear other sounds like steps or gunshots, and Gopnik can hear the music and locate enemy positions. I think this is a pretty funny passive, but it honestly wouldn't be that bad. It might be a little overpowered though. His tactical allows him to eat some sunflower seed for 5 seconds, healing him up to 100 HP, but he is slowed down while eating and leaves a trail of the shells. His ultimate is called Gopnik Shuffle. He performs the signature Slav dance. While you're moving forward, he gains increased movement speed and his hitbox is shrunk significantly. He can attempt to shoot his guns, but the shots will go in all directions. So that's a pretty good ultimate just if you are trying to run away and maybe heal up your teammates or something like that. Now let's get on to number 4. This is a character called Galileo. His passive allows him to climb 3 times higher, and his tactical is called Population Density. He can place a small satellite with a screen that reveals enemy players' density throughout the map. So this density is represented by shades of red without giving definite locations, and the higher the satellite is placed, the better the accuracy is. And his ultimate is called Item Locator, where he places a satellite that has a menu with all of the items listed categorically, and you can choose 3 of these items and the closest ones will be pinged. The higher the satellite is placed, the greater the rarity you may search for, which I think is pretty cool. We don't really have any characters that can find specific loot, which I do think could be a cool addition to the game. Now we're on to number 3, which is called Headline. Her passive allows her to directly ping an enemy, and it will temporarily reveal the type of armor they're wearing, as well as you can also see the type of ammo they're using. Her tactical is called Camera Tick. It activates this to send out a camera tick that travels in a straight line, and you can reactivate it to temporarily blind enemies. It can also blind you, but not your teammates. I do think that's pretty cool since we don't really have any flashbang type things in the game. Her ultimate is called Expose. She throws a beacon to call in camera drones that put a spotlight on any enemy outside a building within a radius. The radius appears on the minimap for all nearby players. This is actually pretty cool. I really like that ultimate. Let's get on to number 2. This guy is called Sawbones. His passive is very overpowered. This is what I think should be changed, but this concept says his passive should be syringes and shield cells heal you twice as much, and whenever you heal yourself, nearby allies gain 50% of the health or shields you recovered. Personally, I think his passive should just be that syringes are 2 times as much heals. That would be pretty useful. His tactical is called Unlicensed Anesthetic. He throws a vial that slows down your enemies, and direct hits slow a enemy significantly for a short period of time, but if it hits the ground, it instead creates a line of gas that slows anyone who runs through it. And his ultimate is called Jumpstart. This is probably one of my favorite ultimates that I've seen in a concept. It allows him to fire a limited range adrenaline shot at a downed ally, and they regain 50% of their health, which rapidly degrades, and then they are downed once their health runs out. That could really help with getting another squad. If you're getting third partied, you could throw that ultimate to a down teammate, and you guys can try and get that third party off your back and then heal him up once he does get downed again. And then we have number 1, which is a legend concept called S.A.M.M.I. I'm pretty sure this legend is actually based off of a character from Titanfall Mobile, I'm pretty sure, as well as a lot of people in the Reddit post said it basically is like a mini Ronin. His passive is called Arc Sword. Basically, it allows his melee to be increased range and does more damage, 35 damage instead of 30. It also allows him to have a 20% chance to slow the enemy when the ultimate is charged. I do think this passive is really cool. Having an extra melee increased range would be very cool as a legend ability. His tactical is called Dash Pack. It allows him to dash in any direction using a jetpack, and it can hold up to 3 dash charges at a time. There is a 10-second cooldown for each dash, but I do think this is pretty cool, and I would like to see it in the game. His ultimate is called Arc Cloud. It unleashes a large plume of electric smoke, damaging enemies within your immediate vicinity, and effects last for 10 seconds. Now that's all the concepts I have for you guys. Make sure to let me know down in the comments what your favorite character concept was. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button. It really does help me out a ton. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. It's been your boy Seth or Slick, and I'm out.